Okay, so what we're looking at here, whoops, sorry, I don't want to erase that. Qui and qui are what we call relative pronouns. Okay, what a relative pronoun does is it starts off a relative clause. In English, what that might sound like is Miss Slade, who was sitting at the desk, decided to eat lunch. Okay, your main clause is Miss Slade decided to eat lunch. The subordinate clause that's giving you more information about Miss Slade is that she is sitting at the desk. Okay, it's a dependent clause, meaning it needs the support of the main to stand. All right, Latin does that as well, and that's what's going on here. All right, so whenever you guys come across a subordinate clause like that, what I like to do personally is either underline it or put parentheses around it so I know that it's not in it's like another clause, kind of. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Kind of? Okay.
Why do you put parentheses?
For whatever works for you guys, like visually. Brackets I use for something else.
What?
Translation. Okay. So group 1, would you mind slowly leading us through a translation of section 1, please?
Should we take turns?
I think so, yeah.
Meanwhile, I don't know how exactly to translate it. I just said like the Cornelius.
That's fine.
We're traveling along the Appian Way.
Good, good. Next.
While traveling. Cornelius, because he was wishing to arrive at the city in 3 days, was ordering Cyrus repeatedly to spur on the horses.
Good. All right, I'm going to pause you right there. All right, I've marked up tribus diebus as what case, everybody? Ablative. Okay. We learned last week about different types of specific ablatives. There's no preposition with tribus diebus, correct?
Yeah.
So what kind of ablative do we have here?
Ablative of time.
Ablative of time. Good. Can someone give me the whole thing? Ablative of time. When or within which? You were pretty close. You got it. All right. Tim, question?
Oh, I thought
It's ablative of time.
I
Ablative
thought
of time.
you're saying someone give me all the ablatives.
Oh, no. Just what this specific one was. It's okay. No, it's okay. All right. Next sentence, group 1. Nice and loud so your voice can be heard all the way over here. Wait. Hang on. We forgot this sentence here. Cyrus igitur ekos virga. Good. Cyrus was therefore whipping the horses with a stick. Okay, we've got ourselves another ablative over here. Virga. What kind of ablative is it? Means. Yeah, means or instrument. Yep. Okay, it is the thing that is being used to hit the horses. Poor horsies. Okay, next sentence.
While they were going through the roads, Aurelius and Cornelia were watching the peasants who were working the fields.
Good. Very good, very good.
Marcus and Sextus watched all of the carriages that were going along the Appian Way.
Good. Very good. All right, so group 1, I have a question for you. Look at all my blues in this chunk. What tense are all of these verbs, not including infinitives or any of that?
Imperfect.
Imperfect. What is my tense marker that tells me they're imperfect?
BA.
They've got BA in the form. Very good. All right, what do we also call the imperfect? The
Wuzzing.
the wuzzing whirring. Yeah. All right, good. Group 1. Very good. Groups 2, 3, and 4. Any questions on this chunk?
Do we need a markup allowance?
It might be a good idea to, but it's, ultimately I wanted you to be very confident on your section alone. Yes, Arwen. Starting with,
Marcus
Gotcha.
and Sextus watched all the carriages. What?
Careful, we're watching.
All the carriages that were going along the pathway.
So for why, you could say that, you could also say which. Right, that or which are fine. All right,
On the back of the book it says who.
who, which, or that, all of those are fine. Okay, any questions on section 1? All right, group 2, you are now off the hook. Sorry, group 1, you are off the hook. Group 2, you are on the hook.
That's great.
What's great? Vocative. But you guys don't have that, so if you want to, you could just mark that up as VOC.
Can we use like barbecue?
Dark who?
Yeah.
It'll block stuff. It's really
I
bad.
wouldn't. I wouldn't. Just because, like, I don't want you to get them confused with verbs. I want it to be pretty clear.
Okay.
All right, group 2, where are you again? Back table, back over there. All right, if you can take us through. Was there actually, before we do that, check your markup against mine. Was there anything that you did differently?
We had sectional or as a subject.
Oh my gosh, it's supposed to be. I don't know. It's not supposed to be pink. Because you're right. Sorry, I don't know why it's like that. No, it's supposed to be it's nominative. So it's, no, I didn't lie. I made a error.
Thank God it's pink and we can cover it up. If it's something like blue,
And marking average was
Oh, it is a cafe, like a preposition.
You marked up what as a preposition?
average was
Ah,
like the whole thing has a
all of this? Okay. Let's talk through just grammatically why that can't be. Okay. So in is a preposition that takes what case? What are my possibilities? Ablative,
and accusative.
Or
even
accusative.
if it's into and it's appellative, just in.
exactly.
That you walk in the accusative.
Yeah, you move in the accusative, you stay in the ablative, sometimes you even move away in the ablative. Okay, so because ager, agri, right? Think of our second declension masculine endings. Us, I, o, I, or, is, os, is. Okay, that means this is ablative. All right, so there's no motion going on. They are staying in the ablative. Now, the word rustiki, this I ending, do we know any words that have an ablative I ending?
Let me see.
No, no, we don't.
Like ablative I.
Just an I. Yeah. No, we don't. All right. I think it's rusticus rustici is the Latin word for like a peasant, right? So it's a second declension masculine noun. So let's go through those endings again. Us, I, o, o. I, orum, is, os, is. So what case must this be?
Nominative.
Nominative. I mean, technically it could be genitive too, but it wouldn't make sense if we were to say like in the fields of the peasants. That's kind of weird, right? Because then who's your subject?
How does the peasant own the field?
Right.
Plus, like, can I feel like another subject?
A day later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who? So then, if that's the case, the Cornelli are still my assumed subjects,
So it'll be really clear.
right? So like sense-wise, contextually, it doesn't make
It doesn't
sense.
make sense about like the Corneli work in the field and the peasant owns the field.
Right. So that's why with Latin translation, it's kind of important to be aware of the context as well, because grammatically, you could argue that rustici is genitive. You could say that, but
But yeah, they are.
contextually, it's not. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Other than that, I think we're good. Group 2, you want to take turns translate for us? Nice and slow, nice and loud.
When you wrote it is the 7th hour,
It is or it was?
it is.
Okay. If it was it is, it would be est, but it is erat. What tense is erat?
Was it?
It's imperfect. Okay, so it was the 7th hour. Okay, keep going.
It was a
Yeah, it was a hot day. Good.
They were no longer working in the field.
Who's they?
The
The peasants. Yeah, the peasants were no longer working in the
Were
fields.
not longer working in the field working in the field, but rest under the tree.
But we're resting under a tree. Okay, careful. Under a tree or under trees?
Under
Trees, right? Let's think that through. Okay, arbor, arboris, third declension, mask, fem. Let's go through those endings. Ex, is, ema, ace, ibus, ace, ibus, right? That's the plural. Okay, good. Keep going.
In the carriage, Cornelius and Aurelia were sleeping.
Yep. What did y'all do with Yam though?
Oh.
Now,
Yeah. Or already. Now or already. Either of those are
It's just an
fine.
adverb, it's like saying I'm
Wait,
going to
so
my home now.
can we do like Cornelius and Aurelia were already sleeping?
Yep.
Okay.
Or you could say we're now. Yeah, I guess you could say that. We're now sleeping, or we're already sleeping
What is in
What-
Varda?
in the carriage.
and then
Okay.
Marcus's feet were annoying Cornelia, who wished to sleep.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little nitpicky about that. Let's work through it. So, you said Marcus's feet, right? The feet of Marcus is how we would do that. If the Latin suggested that, it would be right? This would have to be nominative, and this would have to be genitive showing possession. It would be pes marci, but it's not. It's not. Okay, so let's stick with our market that we've got here. So Marcus was vexabating Corneliam. What was he doing? He was annoying Cornelia. Now, pede. Okay, third declension, xema. It's ablative. What? He was annoying her with his foot. What kind of ablative do we have here? It's a thing. Yeah, it's an ablative of means or instrument. Good. Okay, so Marcus was annoying Cornelia with his foot. Cornelia, who? Now, what tenses will lebat? Imperfect. Okay, was wishing to sleep. Okay, any questions on that chunk?
No, is it, the trees, resting on the trees?
Resting under the trees, yes. Trees, yes, plural. Okay, next. Or last sentence, if you would, group 2.
Sextus was sitting with driver Cyril.
Uh-huh.
He was watching the road.
The road and the
Vehicle.
vehicle singular?
Vehicles.
Vehicles, right? Because it's neuter. That's a neuter plural. Okay, but good. Good. And guys, just one thing to point out here. This et can help you. It can help you, right? Et sometimes connects clauses, but other times it can connect nouns or adjectives, right? So because this et is right in between viam and vehicula, we can assume that they're both probably the same case. They're both probably functioning in the same way. That's called anticipatory reading.
How do we, like highlight ET and stuff?
How do you or why don't you?
Yeah, how do you?
Because you don't, because it's a conjunction. Yeah, honestly, just leaving those things blank, it shows you where the transitions are going to be, if there are any. So that's also kind of helpful. Like looking at, it's the difference between like negative space versus like positive things. You know what I mean? Okay. Groups 1, 3, and 4. Any questions on group 2's section?
Unfortunately, no.
Fortunately, no. I don't know. I'd rather you just focus and pay attention and work through the Latin together rather than like trying to scroll down a translation and not listen. Good question. Okay. Group 2, you're off the hook. Group 3, It is your time.
So we mark the essay at the end of the verb because it's like, look, it's imperative, so. Can we?
I think it's actually an interjection, but let me double check that. Yeah, it's an interjection, it's not an imperative, so you wouldn't mark it up.
That's bad.
That's okay, you didn't know.
Oh,
Okay, what else?
and, we mark Magno Risu as a prepositional phrase.
Okay, but let me ask you this though. If magno risu is a prepositional phrase, where is my preposition?
With a loud voice.
So in English you have it, but in the Latin, is there a preposition?
Oh, no.
No, so it can't be a prepositional phrase. It's a specific type of ablative.
Oh, I'm wrong. And
No. Debatable. Like, could I say, like, Marcus responds with a loud voice? Could I also say Marcus responds loudly? Yeah. So would that be ablative of manner then? If I can convert it into a adverb? Yes.
that's it.
Okay.
I'll start translating.
All right, please do it.
Suddenly, look, Marcus, Count Sexton, in his chariot.
Oh goodness. Marcus responds with a loud laugh. It is not a chariot, stupid.
What is it, Precious?
It is the warrior.
Okay, let's
It is the courier that carries the distinguished civilian letters from the city.
Careful, careful, careful. All right, so kiwium praeclarorum. All right, this is
it's
orange.
It's the letters of the distinguished citizens.
Good, letters
I'm wrong.
of the distinguished. No, you did it right. You did fine. Okay, from the city. Good. Last sentence. I heard the sound of your voice, but I heard not words. Sorry.
The carrier always quickly made journey because he brings the letters out of the city and makes all kinds of
Good, good. Yes, to other parts of Italy. All right. Anyone have any questions on this chunk?
The carrier always quickly made journeys because he brings the letters out of the city and makes all kinds of things.
Just one edit, they, right? Because tabellare is plural, right? So the couriers, because they do that. But yes.
Why is Sextus still being stupid in this?
That's what Sextus does.
Well, it's Sextus.
All right.
Yeah.
We've got 3 minutes. Let's just finish this up. Group 4. You guys are on. Check your markup versus mine. Bless you. Bless you. All right. Is there anything that is unclear, you're not sure about, anything you did differently and want to know why it's not what you thought?
No.
No? Okay. So with that being said, take it away.
How do you travel quickly?
Drive the horses fiercely where to stay.
Beware of the carrier side. Hold the horses. Beware of the ditch. Beware of the ditch.
Mm-hmm.
Cyrus holds the horses and avoids them at the chariot, but the carriage descends into the ditch.
Good. Okay, so we've got two ablatives here. All right, the first one occurs up here, virga. Okay, he spurs on the horses fiercely with a stick. What ablative is that? Means or instrument. Good. Okay, and then our second ablative occurs down here, magno fragore.
With a loud crash,
Could I say loudly?
loudly.
I could. So what kind of ablative is this?
Voice. Noise.
Careful. If I can make it an adverb, what kind of ablative is it? Debatable. It's debatable. It's technically it's manner, but it's debatable. You could argue for means if you wanted to. Okay, one other thing. All right, sire, the name here is Sirus, that's the nominative and that's how you should translate it, right? But he's being addressed, so it's vocative. And then one thing up here, quam celeriter, quam means how, but it's kind of not like a question. If it were a question, it would be quomodo, that's how.
It's more of a statement, because there's no question mark.
Exactly, so how quickly we make the journey is what he's saying here. Okay, other groups, is there any questions about this section?
You didn't have to like mark up everything, right?
No, you didn't. I'd rather you just kind of pay attention while we were doing the work. Okay. All right, what I'd like you guys to do, I know I